Once again, it's on. Hi, I'm Lorenzo Thomas.
And I'm Jeff Fox.
And we are the Sports Brothers, and it's now time for another edition of Review and Preview. And on this segment, we're going to talk strictly the Miami Heat.
Yeah, how about it last night for the Miami Heat, man?
Yeah.
Again, very, very impressive at home. And the captain, Jimmy Butler.
Woo!
Oh, man, he was in the zone last night. He was in the zone.
I mean, the final score was 137 to 106, and Jimmy Butler, I believe it was 38 points he scored in 3 quarters. He didn't even play in the fourth quarter, Jeff.
Yeah, he didn't have to. Largest victory margin in the history of this series by the Miami Heat versus Philadelphia.
Yeah, and the Miami Heat won the season series 3-1, and they're getting ready to go out on this West Coast trip. So what do we have to say? Of course, the trade deadline is approaching. This team looks like they're poised to, basically make a run for at least the playoffs, the conference finals, and maybe I don't know. They might need a big man if they're trying to defeat Milwaukee. What do you think, Jeff?
I think the Miami Heat needs some muscle in the paint. Remember, I spoke with Stephen A. Smith last week.
Correct.
At
Correct,
ESPN.
you did. That's right.
And Stephen A. suggested also that they get physical. They need a big man. They need some muscle in the paint. And there are a couple of big guys on the trading block. Centers are available. I expect Pat Riley to make a move.
You've mentioned Andre Drummond on a couple of occasions.
Andre Drummond from the Detroit Pistons is someone that interests me greatly because he's a big body. He's a rebounding machine. Imagine pairing him with, with Bam Adebayo.
Right.
There goes your rebounding problems.
Right.
Because the Heat, when they lost to the Boston Celtics, repeatedly gave a second shot after second shot after second shot.
Right.
I don't care how much effort you have, you've got to rebound the ball. And when they get to the playoffs, that's going to become a factor.
Yeah, and then, of course, we mentioned early in the season there was rumors about a trade with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
We're looking at the Aldridge and Rosen. Do you think that possibly could still be on the table?
I don't think so. I think they're looking at probably Drew Holiday. They're looking at making some other moves besides just in the paint. I'm understanding that Pat Riley made a call to Rob Pelinka of the Lakers last week in regards to Kyle Kuzma,
right?
Who reportedly isn't quite in the clique with LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Right.
Why the Lakers would get rid of Kuzma, I don't know. Because I think Kuzma has just a little bit of Kobe in him when he gets hot.
Right. But what were the assets that the Miami? They're not giving up Bam. They're not giving up Hero. That's not happening. They are paying the luxury tax right now. So your assets and Hero actually, I think, hurt his foot in the game against the 76ers. So that may open the door for this primetime game against the Clippers for Dion Waiters to be showcased.
Dion Waiters, but I'm also hearing Tyler Hero's name as well.
No.
And I'm hearing Bam Adebayo's name
it's not
as
happening.
well.
That's not
now,
happening.
those are players that we love.
Right.
I get it.
And they're
but when
cheap.
you're trying to win a championship, Lorenzo, teams want your good pieces. Teams want your pieces that are affordable and that you value. So as much as we love these players, this is what's great about the NBA trade line. Thursday at 3 p.m., will the Miami Heat make a move? Or will they, no pun intended, stay pat?
Stay pat. Well, of course, I think Pat is just trying to get this organization set up for the future because he's approaching that age for retirement. And if
Pat wants to win now.
And I understand that, but had LeBron stayed here in Miami, Pat probably would have hung it up by this point. So I think and then losing Chris Bosh. But that was vital to the success of this organization after LeBron left. So I think he wants to basically build a nucleus. And do you have to sell those pieces that you basically – and then you forgot about Kendrick Nunn? None. These are all young pieces that are cheap. So to give up that youth to get one good player, you have to figure. You got to get rid of those, the James Johnsons, the Dion Waiters, maybe the Kelly Olynyk's. And I mentioned those players because they're not in the rotation right now. To free up some salary cap, maybe get under the luxury tax and package them to get something, but not give up your young players.
I don't know what they're going to do, Lorenzo, but I know that this team right now, I spoke with Chris Broussard as well from Fox Sports, Stephen A. from ESPN, a few other folks in the industry that follow this game closely. The Miami Heat have shocked people.
Yes.
The Miami Heat are now in the conversation for the Eastern Conference Championship, meaning that if you got to make a move, and get rid of one of these young players, and you're going to the NBA Finals possibly. If this is what you're shooting at, you make the move. You can't be scared.
I don't think they're going to give up any of these young pieces, but we are surprised that the Miami Heat are in the position that they're in right now. What do they say in the arena?
They have shooters.
We got shooters.
We got shooters. Yeah. We got shooters.
We got shooters, and I don't think they want to give up any of those shooters.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough to win a championship.
It's not enough to beat Milwaukee in a 7-game series.
You're not going to beat Milwaukee with this team as they are right now. I just don't think so. You're not going to beat the Clippers. You're not going to beat the Lakers.
But they have played well against those teams. So
they're not good enough to beat those teams as they are right now. Well, and Pat Riley, I trust you. He's going to make the right move, Lorenzo.
I just don't feel he's going to mortgage the future to do that. All right?
He wants to win Pat doesn't have 5 years.
I know, but
Pat wants to win a championship.
But I think
now.
he wants to leave a franchise intact with a lot of promise, and they weren't expected to win this season. And when you have Nunn, and you have Robinson, and you have Bam, and you have Hero, and the sky's the limit for what they could become, I don't think you give that up.
I've heard also that the New Orleans Pelicans do not want to give Brandon Ingram a max contract or a long-term deal. That's another guy that the Miami Heat are possibly looking at. And this is all through the rumor mill, of course, that another guy the Miami Heat might look at. And if you have to give up a Tyler Hero, if you have to give up, a Bam Adebayo, one of these young pieces, to improve this team, because as you are right now, you are not good enough. You're going to compete, but you're not going to beat those upper echelon teams unless you improve this roster somehow. And sometimes, you have addition by subtraction. You make this team better. Pat Riley is going to find a way.
We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. Trade deadline is approaching, and there are going to be a lot of moves. I just don't know what they're going to be, and we'll see if Jeff's sources are correct. All right? This is Review and Preview with the Sports Brothers. I'm Lorenzo Thomas.
And I'm Jeff Fox.
Until next time.